Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Today what I'm working on is a SVG in Inkscape. So now I'm going to share my screen with you. This is a design that I've already started. Okay, here is a design that I have already started, and this is going to be with vinyl. So I need to create a SVG. I don't do a whole lot with vinyl anymore, but I have a customer that wanted some shirts, and the shirts that they wanted, I need to do it with the vinyl. So this is what I'm doing. It's an 80th birthday shirt. And so this one over here, the 65th, this is a DTF design that I created a while back. And it's sort of on the same design for this stepping into my 80th birthday. So if you've never worked in Inkscape, it is simple. And you can also, if you're into embroidery, you can also do digitizing in Inkscape. And Inkscape is a free application that you can make designs in. So what I'm doing now, most of this is just made up of different fonts that I've selected. So I want to change this font right here. So what I'm going to do is double click on this, and then I'm going to highlight it so that I can change it to a different font. So I want to get a font similar to this gold font that I have here. So what I'm going to do is go over here and look for that font. And if you want to see what other fonts look like, the only thing you would need to do is just click on the font, and it will show you in this box here what that font will look, or what that word would look like with that font. All you have to do is just select the fonts to see what it's going to look like. So I already have the name of the font that I'm looking for. So I'm going down now to see if I can find it in here. You can make all types of SVGs. I think I passed it. Let's see. Okay, I think this is it right here that I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, this is the one that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to hit apply and see how that changed over here. So the next thing I'm going to do is resize it. I want to make it a little bigger. Okay, and then the other part of this says grace and mercy. So It's right here. You can hardly see because this was a white font. So it's kind of hard to see what it says here. I haven't worked in Inkscape in a while, but I know there is a way that you can change the background on here. I don't know if I remember how to do that. It used to be down here, but they've changed up some of the icons, so I'm not sure which one I need to be selecting right off the top of my head to allow me to change that background. And that way you will be able to see the white lettering that I have over here, but it says Grace and Mercy. So that's the next part of this SVG that I need to make. So I'm just going to go over here and select this A, and this is my text tool. This is what you will use to create your text. So I'm just going to double click over here, and the next part of this should say Grace and Mercy. Okay, so then I'm going to go up here and select it with this arrow, and that puts a selection box around Grace and Mercy. So I want to change this font here to something different. So I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going over here and play around with some of these fonts until I find one that I like. And these fonts up here at the top that are in blue, this is just telling me some of the fonts that I've already used. So whenever you use a font, it puts it at the top and turns it to blue. So I'm just scrolling down, trying to find a font that I like. Okay, I think this might be the one I'm looking for. Mm, that one looks okay, but let's see, do I like that one? I think I'll go with this one. Okay, so once I've selected the font that I want, now I'm just going to resize it. And this is going to go at the bottom of the shirt. And up here at the top, you can change it to whatever measurement you want to use. And I'm going to use inches, so I can see exactly what size this is. Okay, so it is 8.569 by 0.938 inches high. So to make it bigger in height, I'm just going to drag this up a little bit. So now that is 1.33 inches high. and it's still at 8.569. I think I'm going to make that a little bigger. I don't want to go too big because the largest shirt that I'm going to have is a large. So I think that'll be good right there. And I just clicked anywhere in this space to click off of it. So let's see what we have now. Got stepping into my 80th birthday with God's grace and mercy. So the stepping is 7.237 and it's 2.823 inches high. So I want to make that a little bigger. So I'm just going to drag it out from the corner. Okay, I think that's good enough because that's almost 3.5 inches high. Okay, so then I think I'm going to resize this 80. It's almost 2 inches high right now. I think I'll make that a little bigger. Okay, so that's almost 3.5 inches high on that. And it's almost 4 inches wide. No, it's almost 3. It's a little over 3.5 inches in width. So then I'm just going to move this over. And I think I want to resize this one as well, but not too much. Okay. And then I'm going to move the birthday down some. That birthday is 6.6 wide. Let's see, let me move the width. Move that down here. Let me see, I think I want to resize this as well. And put these two together by holding my shift key. And now I have them both selected. Okay, so I just made that a little bigger. So I'm going to move that over. Move my 80th over to here. Move this over here. Then I'm going to make my birthday a little bigger. Okay. Oh, and I also need a shoe. So let's see here. I need to get a shoe. So I guess I need to get that shoe before I finish resizing these letters and numbers. So the way you would import your shoe is I already have a shoe picked out. You would click on your import. And then I'm going to go over to my downloads, download files. Oh, and I forgot about the diamonds. I need those diamonds as well. So I want to get this heel here. And I've already removed the background from around it. Okay, so this is the shoe that I'm going to use, and what I need to do now is change it so that whenever I save this, it'll be a SVG. Right now it's just a PNG file. So what you would need to do is go up here to path, and you're going to click trace bitmap. And then over here, I'm going to take the check marks off of smooth and stack scans. And then I want to click over here where it says live preview so that I can see it. And the threshold is defaulted to 0.45. And so you can increase or decrease your threshold by selecting the up or down arrow. But this looks good to me, so I'm going to just go ahead and click OK. And then I'm going to close this. And once I drag it off, then I have a file that I can use as a SVG. So I'm just going to delete this other one because I don't need it anymore. So this is the shoe that I'm going to use right here. So I'm going to go ahead and resize that shoe. Okay, and I'm going to click here to flip it. Okay, so let me fit this shoe in here. Let me see how I did my other one. Okay, so I got the shoe fitted in here right up under, well, not quite right up under the S. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is move my into my, I'm going to move that over some. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back over. And then I'm going to move the 80 over. And then the TH. Okay. So I'm going to bring this Grace and Mercy down under the shoe. And then I'm going to bring God's down. So I'm going to make this Grace and Mercy a little bit bigger by dragging it out. I think I'm going to move this shoe down a little bit. Then I'm going to have to resize Birthday again. Okay. So I think that looks good. So the next step, what I'm going to do now is change these to objects so that once I transfer this over into Cricut, Cricut will recognize this and be able to cut it. So all my letters, I'm going to need to change those to objects. So I'm going to start with stepping, or I could have selected them all. So I'm going to select stepping, go up here to path, and I'm going to click object to path. Okay, so now it's changed to an object. So the next thing I need to do is go over here to object, and I'm going to ungroup it. So you see the little box around each individual letter? It ungrouped each letter. So now I'm going to go back over to path and union. So now this is welded together. So whenever it goes over to Cricut, it'll be one piece. So I'm going to do all my letters the same way. So I'm going to select into my, just select them all. So going up to path, I'm changing them to an object by selecting object to path. Okay, now I'm going over to object, and I'm going to click on ungroup. You see how it ungrouped each letter and number? So everything is now ungrouped. So now, if I was to go back up here and hit union, it's going to join everything. And this will be just one object. But I don't want to do that because I may want to move some of these around some more. So I'm going to do them individually. So I'm going to put a box. I hope I can put a box. Oh no, it's I'm gonna need to move this over some. My original PNG, I need to move that over out of the way. I need to get it all the way over out the way. Okay, so now I think okay, here it is. I'm putting a box around that, so we'll go up to path and union. So now this is one solid piece. So anytime I click on this, they're all going to move together. So I'm going to do the same thing for the 80th. I'm trying to think, do I want to do this as one? I think I'll do this as just the 80 and then the TH together because I may want to make this bigger, but I don't want to make this bigger. So going again, path and union. Then I'm going to do the same thing to this, path and union. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the birthday. Let me try from this way. So I don't want it to include that 80th again. Okay. So go to path and union. Path, union. Okay, path and union. Okay, so now I've unioned everything together. So now I still can move each one and resize it as needed. So now this shoe, I'm going to have to do the same thing to this shoe. I'm going to have to change the shoe to an object. So just go up to path and object to path. And if I was to put this right now into Cricut, everything is one color. But because it's not all union together, if I wanted to change a specific item to a different color, I can still do that over in Cricut. But if I join all this together and union it, it's going to change everything to whatever color I want it to be. But some of this, some of these letters are going to be white, and some of the letters are going to be gold. So I'm gonna have to leave it individual. And I can also change it over here. So right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces that will transfer over as a SVG. So I want to turn this gold. So what I can do is select this little dropper tool, and I want this color gold here. So when I select any place on this 65th, it turned this to gold. So now I need to click off of that one and see, I think the shoe and the 80th, it's going to be gold as well. So I'm going to select the shoe, click on my dropper again, and I can just click this because I want it to be the same color. Okay, and next I want to do the 80th. So I can select both of these and select my dropper, click on that, and it turns it to gold. Oh, and gods, I need to change that. Select my dropper, click here. So the rest of the words on here, those are going to be cut in white vinyl. And then the gold part, I'm going to cut that into gold glitter vinyl. Okay, so I don't need this one anymore. I can just go ahead and delete my guide I had here. I'm going to delete that. And let's see. What I could do is reduce the amount of pieces by selecting everything that's black. And then if I wanted to weld all this together, then I will just go up here and select path and union. And that will decrease the amount of pieces even more, because this will then become one piece. But I don't want to do this because, you know, when you're cutting vinyl, if I was to leave it like that, it's going to cut just like this. And that's going to be a lot of wasted vinyl in here. So I'm not going to weld those together. But that's the way you would weld them together if you wanted it to come over as one piece. And that'll reduce the amount of pieces that you have to import into Cricut. And then I could do the same thing for this Aideth and God and Grace and Mercy. You just click on each one while you're holding your shift key, and then just go up to Path and Union. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group everything by holding my shift key and selecting each piece. And so this is telling me that this is 12 inches wide. And I think it's because the shoe is outside of this, because I know Grace, I set that for 10 inches. So because this shoe is outside of that, that's what made it 12 inches. And it's 13.7 inches high, which is almost 14 inches high on a shirt. I'm trying to think if I want it to be that high. Let me find my ruler. Okay, so I think, let's see, I think I'm gonna go up some on that. I don't think I want it. I don't know. I'll probably leave it like that. And I can always adjust it in Cricut if I decide to change. So what I'm going to do now is just group everything together. I think I want to come in on this shoe some. Some of the shirts are small. I know that will be too wide. I think I'm going to adjust this shoe. I'm going to bring it in some and move this over. And you can turn that snapping off by clicking this first icon at the top on the right, and that'll stop it from snapping. Then I'll move the shoe in a little bit more. Okay, let's see what we got now. No, it's still probably going to be over 10 inches, but it's a little bit better. And like I said, I can just readjust it over in Cricut. Oh, Lord, and this changed back. Okay, so now it is a little over 11 inches and a little over 13 and a half. So I'm good with that. So next what I'm going to do is go over here to Object and Group. So see how the box disappeared from each individual item and a box went around the entire thing. So now everything is grouped together. So when I move it, everything's going to move at one time. Oh, I forgot all about that. Width. I didn't do width. Okay. So I can fix that. Let me get it first. Let me get that. Forgot all about that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is ungroup it. Go back to Object and select Ungroup. So now it's back into individual pieces. So it should be stepping into my 80th birthday. Should be with God's grace and mercy. And I think that was supposed to go, I can put it here. But I should move this down some. Okay, so let's move this down. And that is 1.674 wide and 0.796 in height. I think I'll make that a little bigger. Okay, move it down some. Okay. So I need to change this one into an object. Object to path. Go over, ungroup it. Go back to path and union. Okay. So let's try this again. I'm going to select everything. Hold down the Shift key while you're clicking on each word. Okay, so go back over to Object and we're going to group it. So now we got one piece that we can move around. Okay. So now when we import this into Cricut, it come over just like this. So now the next thing we're going to do, and I think, let me check something. I think I have a picture up as well. And you can zoom in and out by just holding down your control key and then just roll your mouse. Yes, I do have a picture up. So let's delete that. That's the picture that the customer sent me. So now what I'm going to do, select this again. And I'll just put it to the side. And what I'm going to do now is save this. So I'm going to go up to File, and we're going to do a Save As. And anytime I'm saving anything in Inkscape, it takes me back to my SVG folder. So I already got this saved because I was working on it earlier, and I just saved it. So I'm going to just save it back over this because I'm finished with it now. And what you want to do down here where it says Inkscape SVG, you're going to click on that and go in here and select plain SVG. You always want to select plain SVG. Okay, so now that I've selected plain SVG, now all I have to do is hit save. Okay, so now it is a SVG. And I can also change this to a PNG. So the way you would change it to a PNG, you go back up to File, and right here where it says Export PNG, you will click that. And then over here, you're just going to click Export. And it's going to do it real quick. You're going to see a flash of green and it'll be finished. Okay, so it just exported this as a PNG. I don't know if you saw it, but it came right through here where it was saving it. I should have selected where I wanted to save it at. I didn't do that. Okay, that's one step that I missed. But it should be in here somewhere. Let's see. See if I can find it. Okay, this is it right here. I don't know if you all can see it, but it's right here. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. And let's do this again. And this time I'm going to select where I want it to save it at. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to File, Export PNG. Then I'm going to go over here and select where I want it to save it at. I'm going to put it in my downloads. Or I should have put it in the SVG folder. Let's just put it in the SVG folder. And then I want to change it to the same name. Okay. So I'm going to hit save and then go over here, hit my export. Okay. So now I'm going to bring up my Cricut. Not, yeah, I'm going to open up my Cricut. And let's see if this file is going to import. Okay, so I'm opening up my Cricut. I should have had it open already. That's what I meant to do earlier, and I got sidetracked. So I'm waiting on my Cricut to open up. Then we'll go over there. It's kind of slow coming up. Hope it don't have to do any updates. So it says checking for updates. Okay, so once it open up, I'm gonna stop sharing here and go over to my Cricut, and let's try to upload this design to see if it will upload into Cricut. I hope it's not doing any updates. It says installing, please wait. I know a lot of times if I don't open up my Cricut for a while and I open it up, then it starts doing some type of updates. And sometimes it takes forever. But I'm thinking I had my Cricut opened a couple of days ago. Um, it was last night, as a matter of fact, I had it open. So I don't know why I'm saying it's got to install. Yeah, I had my Cricut open yesterday. So I guess I should have opened it up today to see if it was going to do any updates. Okay, come on, Cricut. It's thinking. Now it's thinking. And like I said earlier, you can also use Inkscape to do digitizing. If anybody is into embroidery or interested in doing embroidery digitizing, you can use Inkscape for that as well. And there's also a Inkscape for embroidery group on Facebook. If anybody has a Facebook account, there's a Inkscape group on Facebook that you can join. And the man, his name is Gus. I think he is over that group. He is very helpful if you're ever interested in um wanting to learn how to do Inkscape. I mean digitizing in Inkscape. 'Cause that's where I learned a lot of stuff, but a lot of it is just knowing your basics of Inkscape. So it wasn't that hard to me because I started out doing SVGs in Inkscape. So a lot of the things that you have to select to create a digitized file are the same. But you will have to go up here to the extensions in order to get to the digitizing. I don't know if it's still on mine because it was like when I was doing the digitizing, it was hard for me to do the SVGs because of certain things are not showing when I wanted to do my SVG. So what I did, I had to uninstall Inkscape and reinstall it. But I know you would go up on the extensions to be able to do the digitizing portion. And this is what it is right here. Um, I don't remember what all you have to have over here. But I know you have to go in and install certain things in this portion in order to do the digitizing. But if anybody's interested in that, you can just go to that group, join that group, and they're all very helpful over there in getting it set up for digitizing. Okay, so my Cricut is finally up. So let me stop sharing Inkscape, and we're gonna go to Cricut as soon as I can find it. Okay, my computer. Okay, so let's go over to Cricut. Okay, I'm getting ready to share my screen in Cricut. Come on, come on. Okay. I don't know why Cricut now stays on the last thing that you did. It used to shut down. This is a rhinestone that I designed that I did earlier, and this design came from Creative Fabrica. So that's one thing I noticed when I opened it up yesterday, that it still has the last thing that you worked on still open. Whereas it used to close it once you close out of Cricut, it used to close it, but for some reason now it's like it's keeping it open. So I don't want that. I'm gonna do a new. Hmm. I've already saved this, so I'm just click replace because I don't. I've already got this saved. So okay, so now what I'm going to do is upload that file I just made. Okay, go to upload image and then go to browse. And I got it saved in my SVG folder. Okay, I'm gonna go down and find it. Okay, and there's the PNG. There's the PNG that I saved right here. So it has the PNG and it has the SVG. So now I'm going to open it. Click open. Okay, and there's the SVG. This is what it looks like when it comes in correct. And then, so now I'm going to hit upload. Okay, so now here it is. So I'm going to select it again and click add to canvas. And let me see how big this is going to come in. Came in at 19.3 and 23.74. So I don't know why it always comes in bigger in Cricut than it does from what you saved it in Inkscape. So I'm going to resize it down and see how it's one piece. It came in as one piece. So it's one piece over here. I'll change this back down. So it's now 13. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So if I wanted to cut it at this size right here, all I need to do is go over here and click make it. I don't know why it's wanting me to save it first. I didn't ask to save it. Let's say don't save. Let's see what it's going to do. Okay, so it is a cut file. Let's see how it loaded onto the mats ready to cut. So all the black pieces loaded onto one mat. So it is going to cut it. And then all the gold pieces loaded onto the other mat. So it's ready to cut it out. And so that is how you do an SVG in Inkscape. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section, and I will gladly answer any questions that you have concerning making an SVG in Inkscape. And I've always made my SVGs in Inkscape because I hated doing them in Cricut. Because a lot of times they were not even, or at least to me, they didn't look even, or some of them were not clean. Click, oh, can't talk. Click cancel. Um, so I've always made my SVGs first in Inkscape and then just uploaded them into Cricut. And if anybody's interested in selling SVGs, that's a good way you can make them is in Inkscape. And you can make just about anything you want to in Inkscape. There's a little bit more detail to making SVGs in Inkscape, but this one right here was an easy project, so I didn't go into a whole lot of details. But if anybody is interested in learning how to make SVGs in Inkscape, just let me know, and I may be able to get you a class together. So that is the end of this, and I'm going to save this because I'm going to cut it out later. So I'm just go ahead and save this. Oh, and another thing, what I normally do, I don't know if it's still here, they might have changed it, is I normally open up a t-shirt template just to see how it's going to look on the t-shirt or how big I need to size it. So let me see, can I find it? Okay, here's the t-shirt, classic t-shirts right here. Okay, so there's the outline of the t-shirt. So normally what I do to see how it's going to look on the t-shirt, or if I have it sized right, I will get that t-shirt template and just place it in there so I can see what it looks like. So this is what this would look like on that t-shirt. So I think I might need to bring it in a little bit. I don't want to make it shorter, but just bring it in some. Okay, so that's how that would look on that t-shirt. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that came out pretty good. So whenever I get my vinyl, because I had to order some more vinyl, because like I said, I don't hardly do vinyl anymore. Since I started doing the DTF and sublimation, vinyl is something I hardly ever do anymore. I used to keep vinyl stocked when I was into the vinyl, but every once in a while I have to pull my vinyl out again because people find stuff that they want. Well, I could have done this in DTF like I did the other one, but I decided to do the vinyl because she wants glitter, that glitter gold. Because that other design that I had in Inkscape with the gold shoe, that was done with DTF. And it turned out pretty good. So that's all that I have. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section and I will try to answer your questions. And if you have enjoyed or if this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That way you'll be able to see more content as it becomes available. Thanks and good night.